Hello everyone, my name is SurrealBeliefs and welcome back to another online battle. Tokshin's here today. Hey Tokshin.
Hey Surreal, what's going on, dude?
I'm playing as greenskins on a white snowy map, which I hate a lot. I can't see a damn thing. It's really hard for me. I mean, now that I'm zooming in, sure, but when you're zoomed out, kind of hard for me to make out what is going on. But anyway, let's go over what we're fighting right now. I'm playing as the greenskins, you're playing as the dwarfs, and I'm currently fighting a greenskins player. How about you go over your build first?
Sure. I brought a bunch of dwarf warriors with great weapons because we were fighting against the vampire counts and the orcs. And I've seen a lot of spam for Graveguard and Black Orcs, so that's what I was trying to counter. I also brought a couple of hammer units specifically for those heavy armored units. 4 Quarrelers and 1 Thunderer, again, for anti-armor. I brought a Runesmith because I think the Runesmith is great at buffing up your own army and dealing some damage. And then I brought Ungrim because he's an unbreakable little dwarf full of anger. What about you?
Okay, don't talk about me like that. But anyway, if I look at my army right now, I brought in a bunch of orc boys. I brought in a few orc boar boys. I brought in some night goblin archers because again, they're incredible. And I really do value the archer a lot more. They do a lot more damage in Warhammer than I thought they would. I brought in a few black orcs and a giant and a doom diver. And of course I bring in a orc war boss lord, not Grimgor, he's not cheap, but I wanted to have more numbers than my opponent. And right now, if you look at the difference in formation of what is going on, he's all stretched out right now. He's all over the place, and I had a feeling if I had a strong core, if I broke him right in the middle, 1, he would be forced to come to me, 2, I would be able to break him, and I begin to charge in. I will say though, whenever we fight on a snow map, it actually is very hard for me to see, and I do end up blobbing a little bit more than I often do, because I like to kind of keep it in formation, but for the current fight, I do not keep in formation, which is unfortunate, but we're about to have our clash in just a moment.
Yeah, and seeing that the orc player brought a lot of savage orcs, I think they have 3 on each flank, I decided pretty quickly here that I was going to try and stay very close to Surreal's army, be his left flank, and I was going to hold the vampire count player and use my Quarrelers to try and snipe those savage orcs down. So I'm trying to stay very close here as the vampire counts move in.
And right now I'm having my Doom Diver shoot a little bit at the trolls. I don't know why I was doing that, kind of a weird choice. I usually go after a lightly armored enemy to kill. But again, because I was so mad at, you know, the white beautiful snow, I might have just been in a bad mood. I don't know, maybe.
He really hates the snow. Let me just...
Quite a bit.
If we did a live commentary for this battle, it would have been, man, F that snow.
And right now I've got some Goblin Wolf Riders now trying to flank my Doom Diver. Oh right, he's got even more actually that I did not see until just now. Yeah, he had more in the woods, and I remember him actually being able to get, I believe, my Doom Divers from behind. So, I mean, they're actually pretty good because I had no clue they were out there, hidden in the woods, man.
They're so tiny. But yeah, that was a really good flank on the Orc player's part with those Goblin Wolf Riders. And right now my lines are being engaged by Skeletal Warriors. I'm dropping down some blasting charges, which do pretty good against Skeletal Warriors. The Graveguard are going to be coming in behind, and my Quarrelers are now going to try and snipe the Savage Orcs that they can reach.
Right. And I think all in all, in the very beginning, my core is actually a little bit more stretched out too. I didn't keep my formation. If you look at how my formation is on the minimap, I'm trying to meet him tit for tat. I do think we do all right. Now my Orc boys are meant to break quickly. They're going to. And Savage Orcs are actually pretty scary, man. If they're fighting your Orc boys, they're going to win. But I think I do manage to beat up his Orc boys a good bit. He's got trolls too. And I've got a lot of trolls, I think. Or maybe I brought in one group. Or maybe I didn't bring a group at all. Where am I? See, like, whenever I'm fighting another Greenskin faction, it's hard to tell who's who. Because right now, our little banners are both green. I don't know what is mine and what's his.
It is harder to see, but his does have a red line where yours has a blue? Or maybe no blue line? I'm not sure.
Is a yellow line, and his is like more of a orange-red line, yeah. Huh, okay.
So yeah, right now my Dwarf Warriors and my Longbeards are just trying to hold the line as, again, I'm trying to focus down these Savage Orcs that I can. And because I know if we wrap up the Orc player, which the Savage Orcs are pretty weak to Quarrelers, then we can really focus on the Vampire player, who's now coming in with his Manfred against my Thunderers.
Right. And that was a pretty good call too, only because, I mean, we know that the Orc player will break first, whereas a Vampire Count player, unless you kill his Lord, he's going to be there for a long time attacking you for the entire duration of the freaking game.
What is kind of weird is that he's keeping his Vargulf and some Crypt Horrors way back. I don't know if maybe he's afraid of my focus fire and potential, but yeah, he doesn't engage them for quite a long time. I think he should have just ran them in.
He might be. Now he's bringing in some Black Knights to flank you. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm currently at 523, and he's about to bring him in right now. He's got 2 groups, and they're kind of stacked on top of each other, which you did not want to do. I know that you can't always help that, but I wonder if he's gonna... Wait, they stopped mid-charge. What the hell?
Yeah, he stopped them. Yeah. It was weird. It's a weird move.
Then he did charge in, but I wonder if that actually did minimize the overall damage. I'm gonna go back to my line real quick. I think now I'm beginning to break the Orc player a little bit. I don't even know how I won when I think back on it. My giant fought hard. I know he got over... Okay, only over 30 kills. I believe he had Grimgor trying to take him down nearly the entire game, which, I mean, I get it. Grimgor is very good at trying to take down a giant creature, but it's not going to work out in your favor. It just will not. You need to have focus fire on that giant if you really want him down. I'm not sure if he does manage to get him down, but I do take out Grimgor, and after that, it's done for. I mean, it was a pretty tit-for-tat fight, and I even think he had the edge on my right flank. My left flank definitely held strong. I had more Black Orcs here, I had some Boar Boys here, but he definitely could have potentially beaten me, provided he didn't let Grimgor die in battle.
Yeah, sometimes you just lose track of people. It's happened to me. Maybe he didn't realize that he was so close to death against your giant, but he didn't have many options to fight your giant. He didn't have any archers to bring him down, so he just had to kind of duel it out, which is what the giant wants. It wants to duel it out against infantry units. Well, maybe not spear, but he does pretty well against Black Orcs. Yeah,
he nearly got my giant, but I mean, again, Savage Orcs are very good at dealing damage, but if you're not there to keep them in line, they're gonna break and freak out. Whereas my guys are coming back. I brought in a very cheap Lord, yet he's pretty much fully buffed up. He's good to go. He's got 28 kills, and now we're done on my flank. So I'm gonna begin to probably kill a few more units belonging to the Orc player. I believe they do come back and do some damage, but I'm gonna get ready now to get into formation to come flank the Vampire Count player. And we still have a bit of the battle to go.
Yeah, which is really good because, as you can see, my lines have held pretty well, but they are starting to break. So it's very good that we wrapped up the Orc player and reinforcements are coming in, because I remember I was kind of panicking at this point.
Man, I'm looking at it right now. He got his Wolf Riders to take out my Doom Diver, I think. Yeah, my Doom Diver is currently not doing its own thing. I have a lot of tiny groups right now who are trying to get over to your line. Right, here comes my Lord. I think what I was doing, I was going to come on over and try to buff you up. I did use Stand Your Ground, and it did affect a few of your guys, like that current Dwarf Warrior group on the right flank with the great weapons, who are very low in number. Holy crap.
They've been fighting it out the entire game against these Graveguard, against skeletons, against the Vargolf is now in with the Critors and the Black Knights charging me in the back. So yeah, I'm pretty weakened right now, but with the Orc player, or with you, I'm sorry, your reinforcements, I think we can turn this around. Hi, how's it going?
Not just a beautiful Orc face, Tokshin, alright?
No, you're a little bit more than that.
Alright, cool. A little bit more than that, okay, alright. Let me get a look at what's going on right now. He didn't really use his Lord. I mean, I get why he didn't want you to shoot him down, but you might as well not bring in a flying unit if you're not going to keep him near the front lines, because, I mean, a major part of why we use our Lords is to keep our guys in line so that they will not break.
He did try and fight with Manfred. He came down against my Thunderers, but then he got focused down to where he was almost dead, and it kind of forced him to pull back.
I think right now my Black Orcs are beginning to sweep up the Graveguard, and the Graveguard are actually pretty friggin' tough, man. Like, they either do incredibly well or they just kind of get shot down. I never know like which way it'll actually go with the Graveguard.
Oh, the Graveguard I don't think have much of a melee attack, but yeah, they do have pretty good melee defense. They are good at holding most times.
They're beginning to crumble now, and they're all falling apart. The fight definitely goes on for quite a bit of time. Now, did both players stay after our current match? I can't remember if like they both stayed. I know one did.
I believe they both did, because I think we fight these players one more time.
Right, and we have our rematch, and there's one guy here that will have fought 3 times total. You may have seen his name before. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember. It's a pretty long name.
If you have over Manfred on his flying mount, you'll see his name. It's Liv Signe Navarsete.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
We have fought him more than once. Yeah, I mean, if you play enough multiplayer battles, you'll end up fighting the same people.
But at this point, with the Orc player kind of wrapped up, it was a close fight. It was a close fight. Actually, this is one of our closest ones, and their Lord just went down there.
Right.
We were definitely afraid that we were going to lose this one.
I definitely think a part of it is that we had a much tougher foe than we often do, but another part of it, again, I was not very pleased with my game. Like, as I told you prior to our match here, or our recording of our current match here, I was not very pleased. I know that we won, but if I don't win well, then I'm not a huge fan of it. But no, they definitely fought well. The dwarf formation definitely kept things in order here. I mean, the fact that you were the dwarf player allowed us to actually stay in the game for a longer period of time. Otherwise, I mean, you probably would have broken, just because vampire counts are hard to fight, man. And if you have a pretty good player for the vampire counts, they're going to take you out just because they will not break.
And luckily the dwarves are pretty good at holding. I didn't pick necessarily the best comp, I think, to fight against vampires, but it did work out pretty well. If you look at my kills here, my dwarf warrior's great weapons got a lot of kills. Most of that's probably against the skeletons that they were fighting for the most of the match. My correlers did okay. I had them mostly focused on, again, these savage orcs that you were fighting to try and help you out. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy. And honestly, what helped a lot. I can't stress this enough. The runesmith, I didn't get to show it too much in this battle, but the runesmith is really good at buffing up your front line and keeping them holding longer. He has a damage resistance buff, and I think it's a melee defense and attack buff that he also drops, maybe? I'll double check that, but yeah. Really
and he doesn't use magic, so you just only have to wait for his cooldown. And he actually got quite a few kills, which is actually pretty good, because usually a support hero does not get a lot of kills, but no, he got a lot of kills and was able to keep your line together. So I might actually use him a little bit more. In the single player campaign, I love him a lot, so I might as well give him a go. Now, on my kill feed here, my boar boys did a lot of damage. They got a lot of kills. My Doom Diver did okay. My Night Goblins, they're mostly there to debuff, and if I look at it, a pretty average amount of kills. I mean, my Biggins did their part, my Black Orcs did their part, and my Orc boys, they kind of did a thing. Yeah, but if we look at what's going on for the other Orc player, one group of savage orcs got nearly 200 kills, probably fighting my orc boys, and then his one group of black orcs got nearly 200 kills, probably again fighting my orc boys. His trolls, an okay amount of kills, and what about your opponent? Let's go check it out real quick. Okay, if we look at that, Crypt Horror's a lot of kills, over 100. I mean, he's fighting you, so I mean, that is actually a lot. They do have armor piercing, they're very strong. His Knights got in quite a few kills. His Graveguard with a great weapon, a few more kills. And beyond that, yeah, not too many though. Oh, and Vargulf actually did pretty well.
And what's weird is that through half the battle, like I said, his Crypt Horror and his Vargulf were out of the fight. So imagine the amount of kills they would have got if he just rushed them in from the beginning. It could have been, honestly, it could have been a different fight, because those things were terrorizing me pretty badly. But I'm really kind of lucky the enemy player didn't send them in until very late.
I have to wonder too, if maybe he did that on purpose and he wanted some like fresh troops right in the very end to kind of be able to break you. Because I mean, you were beginning to break towards the very end. It's only because I was able to kind of come in at that very end after destroying the orc player to help out. So like, I wonder if that was actually intentional, because I mean, we have fought him 3 times and he's always been a very big challenge in every game.
That could have been, because they would have been fresh troops against tired ones. Yeah,
because I mean, if we look at his overall kills, they actually got a lot of kills, so maybe that was worthwhile. But I mean, who really knows? I really feel like, though, you probably would have tried to shoot him down, and maybe that is why he did it, because I mean, you were trying to shoot down any type of large unit that was coming your way.
And overall, I don't know. That was a really good fight. One of our best, I think. Closest anyway.
All right, well, look forward to another match that will be coming out tomorrow. Check out our channels down below, and thank you for watching.
Take care, everybody.